Okay, so this is Skills USA Regional Bracket 5 for Search and Rescue.
How many motors do you have?
We currently are running 4 motors. The first 2 are for the drivetrain that actually drives the robot around. The third motor is here at the top to move the arm up and down so we can control which angle we can grab the ordnances at. And the final one is to control the claw to actually grab the ordnances.
Okay. And why did you place your camera there on the top?
We decided to place our camera here because it was a lot more consistent for the driver to use the claw during actual field events, because as they moved this up and down, it would make things a lot harder to read for the driver, and it's just better to have a consistent point of view when it comes to something where you're moving around and doing things constantly.
What's with the antenna in the back?
Oh, we put the antenna in the back here because the plastic on it melts really easily, and if it touches the metal, it's going to short circuit. So we put it on the back because it's the least vulnerable to any kind of damage, and it's also open to reception directly next to the camera, so we can easily get good views for the driver.
Okay. How good is the traction on the robot?
I wouldn't say the traction's the best. We do have these Omni wheels in the back for better turning, but that does mean that we turn a lot slower. Not slower per se, but our driving itself is just not very good. The wheels are very smooth compared to how they used to be, and so it's not exactly the best at grabbing, but when it comes to actual movement, it's pretty good.
Okay, what about your code? What type of code do you have on your robot?
Our code is pretty simple. It's mostly the base stuff of it being motors 1 and 10 for the drive. However, we also wanted to make sure that it wouldn't spiral out of control in a field or arena made entirely out of cardboard. So we set most of the motors, specifically the drive shaft and the drive train motors, to have a slower rotation speed so we can at least control and see our robot. Also, that way the driver doesn't get vertigo.
Okay. And why is this gear larger on the top?
Oh, that would be because this gear helps to convert this motor's momentum into stronger force, because otherwise, as we know from another robot which we couldn't use that we were building before, it wasn't strong enough to lift on its own, so we had to implement this thicker gear so that it can actually support this kind of weight. So, without this gear, this wouldn't be able to move at all.
Okay. How does gravity affect the claw, and how did you account for that?
Oh, when it comes to the claw, since we programmed this manually, we realized it's pretty heavy, and that without explicitly telling the claw to stay still, it just drops on its own like this. So, in order to account for that, we went into the code and set one of this motor specifically to always hold when it's not being interacted with. So if up is pressed, it goes up, if down is pressed, it goes down, but otherwise it stays completely still instead of falling.
Okay. Inspection complete.
Immediately after.
Inspection passed.